Hey, what's up everybody? SugarCayne here, and it is now that time for me to announce the 2023 Bike of the Year. So the Bike of the Day series features bikes that are submitted by you guys, the viewers, to showcase on SugarCayne.com. People come to the site and give the bikes a rating based on their color, originality, parts, and overall style. At the end of the year, whichever bike has the highest rating becomes the Bike of the Year, and it's totally based off of the viewers' votes. That's why I always encourage people to come back to the website and give all the bikes a rating, so that way we know which bike you guys think is the Bike of the Year based off of your ratings. But before we get to that, I also have an editor's pick that I'm going to do for a bunch of bikes which I really think are top in their category. So let's get at it right now, and we are going to start with dirt jumpers. 2023, there were a few dirt jumpers that were featured on Bike of the Day, so I decided to give them their own category, Dirt Jumper of the Year, DJ of the Year. And without a doubt, hands down, the Dirt Jumper of the Year is this Evel Knievel inspired Daylight Timeline JPX. They call it the Evil One. This bike has so many dope details to the graphics, really awesome parts. It was submitted by Robert Tatro, and this bike is definitely a showstopper. All those details to the graphics, and big shout out to Daylight Cycles because they're always doing some phenomenal work with some really amazing frames, crazy paint jobs, and awesome pictures to really present these bikes the proper way. The next category is Chromal Bike of the Year. There were a bunch of dope Chromal builds that were submitted this year, like the Quammen Prototype, the S&M, the Bone Death. But the Chromal Bike of the Year on SugarCayne.com is the Divide 53. This is BMX legend Dale Holmes' brand, and the bike is dope. I'm loving the way this bike looks with the polished fade to like a greenish colorway. He got some red spoke nipples that match the brake lever. Definitely want to give a shout out to Dale for starting the Divide brand. This is actually a prototype frame that Dale built up and submitted to the site. I love it when the legends send me bikes to showcase on Bike of the Day. Definitely want to see more of that this year. Also, big shout out to Alec Bob for winning the Pump Track World Championship on his Divide brand bike. That's right, a Chromal BMX racing frame won the Pump Track Worlds against aluminum bikes, carbon bikes, dirt jumpers, all of that. It was a Chromal BMX racing frame from a brand new company that won the Pump Track World Championship. So big shout out to Dale and Alec for making it happen on the world stage with Divide already. Next category is OS20, the OS20 of the Year. There were a couple of OS20s that was submitted, like that custom GT Speed Series, which almost got OS of the Year, but I had to give it to the Throwdown OS20 prototype that was sent in earlier this year. That bike just looks super clean, and I'm a sucker for some E6 silencers. Those rims look crazy and they really complement the bike. Of course, it has box parts on there. It's got Q2 Team carbon fork. I really like how this one came out, and I'm looking forward to seeing more OS20s this year, so make sure y'all send those OS20s, submit them to Bike of the Day, because I definitely want to showcase them. Flatland Bike of the Year 2023, SugarCayne.com. That was a tough one for me to decide. I was really liking that Viking. The Viking was fresh. I was loving that joint, the frame design and everything. But the Quammen edged it out for the win with that red and black colorway, that crazy stem that he has on the bike. The bike looks super clean, and it has some really fresh parts in it. It's a 2005 Quammen clad G5, and it was submitted by Waki, and he just did a great job on this bike. Big shout out to him for this one. Y'all gotta send them Flatland bikes. I'm looking on Instagram, I see a whole bunch of fresh Flatland bikes that need to be put on Bike of the Day. So definitely this year, all my Flatland riders out there, start submitting them bikes. Want to see them. So the next category of the list is side hack, and the only bike that was submitted that was a side hack was that crazy Supercross SX 125, 1997, fresh out the box, customized specifically for side hack. It was submitted by David Ramey. I did a whole thing on this bike last year. This bike was sick. It's the only side hack that was submitted, so he was a shoo-in for side hack of the year. But anybody who's got side hacks, definitely send those in. I want to see more side hacks. I'll definitely feature them on Bike of the Day. Please do that. I want to see more of those. But big shout out to David Ramey for winning Side Hack of the Year. 29-inch of the year. I only had 2 or 3 bikes that were sent in that were 29 inches. We had the Cult Devotion that was sent in, which was real fresh with the gum wall tires and all of that. But the bike that had to win this one was that Grump double barrel 29-inch with that neon green colorway. I always get excited when the Grump bike gets submitted to Bike of the Day, because 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a sick bike. I've seen a 24-inch Grump double barrel, 20-inch Grump double barrel, but I've never seen a 29-inch Grump double barrel. And this one right here is bananas. It's got the disc brakes on it. It just looks clean. Big shout out to Donald Bray for submitting this bike and also winning 29-inch Bike of the Year on SugarCayne.com. 26-inch of the year. Now this one was a tough one for me because I can't put one of my bikes in as Bike of the Year, but I had a real fresh 30th anniversary Naughty by Nature 26-inch frame built up for KG that I put on Bike of the Day, and that bike just looks bananas to me, but that would be a conflict of interest. I also have to do a video on that bike. I haven't done a video on that bike yet, so I'm gonna do that one soon. I'm definitely gonna do it this month so you guys can check that out. But the one that definitely wins for 2023 26-inch of the year definitely has to go to that Gorilla 26-inch with the green and gold colorway. The bike just looks crazy. It's got that beefy oversized tubing on the top tube, the down tube, the chain stay, the seat stay. It also has that extra tube that connects the down tube to the seat tube. There's just a lot going on with this bike. Plus it has those beefy Gorilla forks. That super polished stem and the green and gold colorway really makes this bike a showstopper. Big shout out to Rodney Odling for submitting this bike. And also congratulations, Rodney. You won 26-inch of the year on SugarCayne.com. 24-inch Bike of the Year was real crazy. There were 2 bikes that were just phenomenal builds. They were both on the top 10 and both of them could have been Bike of the Year. We had that Prophecy Scud Evo 3 with that custom green colorway with the gold. That bike just looked amazing. It's been floating between the top 4 spots ever since it was featured. But as amazing as that bike looks, the one that edges it out is that Daylight Arc C1 with that green and black colorway. That bike looked stunning. It was submitted by Adam Duffy. This bike could have easily been Bike of the Year. It was a beautiful bike. Carbon rims, the balance of color on the bike, the way it all works together, plus also the photos that really showcase how beautiful this bike is. Once again, I have to give crazy props to Daylight Cycles for the bikes they build, plus also for taking some amazing pictures. And big shout out and congrats to Adam Duffy for winning 24-inch Bike of the Year. Editor's Pick 2023. This is my choice for what I think is Bike of the Year, and that goes to the Marshall Racing, the Punisher V2 with that US colorway. Whenever I look at the 2023 Bike of the Year list, I always come back to this bike. I just love the way this bike looks. I love the lines on this bike. I love the geometry. Just looking at this bike, I want to hop on it and I want to race it. The white frame with the white forks and the white rims and the blue, it just all looks beautiful. Like, I literally want to build a bike that looks like this one. I love the way the decals look on the bike. I like the yellow that they use in the rims, and then also using the Michelin tires to go with the rims. Like, everything on this bike is just bananas to me. All these bikes have great parts on them, and when it comes to racing, this bike right here can definitely get you to the podium. The thing about showcasing the bike is also how it looks and how it's put together, how your handlebars are positioned, how your seats positioned, and just everything on this bike just looks great to me, and that's why it is the editor's pick for 2023. So the guys from Marshall Racing submitted this bike. Big shout out to them for showing love to the website, and congratulations on winning editor's pick 2023 on SugarCayne.com. So now it's time for Bike of the Year 2023. This is the people's choice. This is what you guys rated up to the top of the chart, and it is a 1986 GT Pro Freestyle Tour. This bike has been at the top of the chart for the majority of the time that it has been featured on the site. Jason Orlandini submitted this bike. Photos were taken by Jay Panucci Photography, and you can really see why this bike is a winner and a showstopper. It's a legendary classic old school BMX bike from the 80s that every kid wanted back in the day. It's got that GT blue colorway with white. He's got the frame standers on there. He's got the dyno brake guard on there. People have been rating this bike ever since it was posted, and that's the reason why it's #1. So big shout out to Jason Orlandini for submitting this bike, and congratulations, brother. You have won 2023 SugarCayne Bike of the Year competition with the 1986 GT. So that's it. We made it to the end of this episode, and I'm looking forward to see what everybody sends this year. I can't wait. We got some good ones already, and it's gonna be a good year for Bike of the Day. And just keep submitting those bikes, y'all. All right. So enough talking about bikes, enough looking at bikes, enough rating bikes. I need y'all to go out and ride your bikes. This is Crazy Al Kane, Bike of the Year 2023, and I'm out. Back to you, Billy.